Alright people, class is in session. After the pledge has been recited, pop quiz.
It is quiz time.
Come on guys, you can just BS your way to finishing. Diana here marks the time to 30 minutes. And go. Time's up, class dismissed. Time for shots. Looks like Diana is out with her friends at a bar. Then one of her friends sees her texting.
Who are you texting?
She says it's nothing, but flustered Finnecking says otherwise. After some good old shots, it's time for Diana to head home. Looks like she's not alone either because here comes Eric Tull. He's a handsome looking lad who greets Diana with finesse and oh boy.
Shall we?
These two are very eager, but it's done just like that. Dude's a quick shot. Eric then walks around and teases Diana a little bit, but then she tells him a little story. It's a rather lusty story from her high school days, so you're better off not knowing the full details. Basically, she would meet her then boyfriend behind her mother's back, and they lay mad pipe.
Hey, when do you get back?
Pretty sure her mom sussed it out. Diana, having a boring life, is very needy and says goodbye to her lover. She absolutely cannot wait for their next tryst. Eric goes into his own car and finally drives away for the night. Wasn't it quite the eventful evening for our main girl here? Hit us up with those spicy stories in the comments. I'm sure a gal like Diana would want to relate. Reaching home and finally settling down on her bed, the day finally comes to a close. The next day, Diana is just closing up class with a greeting for Thanksgiving. It's time for these high schoolers to finally get a much-needed break, except for Eric over here, who shows up when the coast is clear. His hormones are raging, so he asks Diana what she's gonna do. Once the class empties, Eric goes for a cheeky peck. It's not to say that Diana doesn't enjoy it. In fact, she's a bit giddy about it too. Now that class is over, Diana heads to the faculty room.
Have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
There, she catches some of the teachers gossiping about this one student. This one student apparently was following the steps of Snoop Dogg as she was caught blazing his tuckus off in the campus parking lot. Well, she's gonna get easily bailed by her parents, so let's talk about something else. The other teachers invite Diana for a drink later, but she says she's got stuff to take care of. Wink, wink. Well, get your mind out of the gutter because it's not what you think. She goes for a jog, then someone leaves a voicemail for her. It's about some dude who wants to talk about Diana's mom, and he says it's urgent. So one scene later, Diana heads for this luxurious looking place.
It's good.
There to greet him at this serene bar is Hunter Watts. Knowing from that last name, yes, they are in fact siblings. He tells her about their mother, which he feels a bit uncomfortable with. That's because her mother is hinted at having a bit of schizophrenia. Hunter also says he's worried about her sister, and this is apparently a red flag for her, so she quickly dodges from the conversation. Actually, from the entire bar itself. Wow, that was weird. A little later, Diana is already in Eric's bed. Yeesh, talk about creepy much. She says she wants to stay for the night and they have a little pillow talk. Diana fools around with him a little bit, then she says this is the happiest she's been in a long time. That's kind of sad for a lady like her then. Of course, the hormones begin to spike and we'll skip this scene before YouTube shows us the yellow dollar sign again. Some time passes and Diana finds herself jogging again. Then she's with this friend in this random house. The friend says they're going to a party with some of the attendees being high schoolers.
Super casual for Thanksgiving. Bring something cute.
Then Diana's boy toy texts. It's quite the raunchy text, so Diana sends back a raunchy photo. Once it's sent and the dopamine comes rushing, it's time for Diana to walk to her friend. Her friend explains they're going somewhere filled with guys, so she should wear something cute. Hours pass and the party has officially started. Her roommate, Sophia, introduces her to some nice-looking guys. Specifically, this is Jeff and Dan. They were about to get to know each other until Rich here swoops in the conversation.
Cool.
Dan turns back the conversation to Diana's teaching job, and he says that she would have been the heartthrob of the boys in high school. This isn't very flattering to Diana, however, so she looks for Sophia and says she wants to go already. Luckily for her, Sophia offers her a ride since she reasons that she's already poofed out for the day.
I thought I'd find you in here.
Once she has the key, it's a bye-bye party. Reaching her place, she immediately calls up Eric. She's pretty thirsty this late at night. Sadly, Eric doesn't pick up, so she leaves him a quite needy voicemail. The day after, Diana finds herself in another boring situation with Sophia and some of her family members. They watch a little football, but come on, they're scaring the women away with these clips.
A student's phone was confiscated.
Diana then retreats to her room upstairs, probably looking at Eric's Facebook. Guess what? I was right. Sophia confirms this because she's been too distracted from her phone. Well, it's cool with Sophia because her family just absolutely loves having Diana around. Back to school means Diana is back at work. She's chatting up with some teacher and she says there's a lewd photo of a freshman girl floating around. Yikes. But of course, Diana is in the same boat with these stupid kids. She just couldn't keep it in her pants. Diana just has to play along until the teacher begs her to go to this chaperoning event. She calls it a solid and she agrees, as long as this teacher owes her. Later, it looks like our girl's getting cold feet from the stories she just heard. She meets up with Eric again in a random parking lot, but she's not in a thirsty mood. In fact, she wants that raunchy photo of her deleted. Eric agrees without hesitation, and he immediately knows it's about the photo of the freshman girl floating around. After that, everything is peachy. In fact, Eric asks if he could come over later. Diana says it's a-okay since she says Sophia's out of town.
Can I come see you tonight?
This means this couple gets to go to Bone Town later. But shh, keep it on the down low because here comes one of the students. Play it cool and stay out of trouble. Later on the same day, it's time to get it on because Eric is here. But Eric breaks the news that some other girl his age asked him out to the dance. He asks Diana permission just so he won't look sus in front of the other students. Diana seems to be okay with it, and Diana finds herself in this meeting. It looks like she's counseling some of her students for tests and school dance. They have a good laugh, and it looks like they're all gonna attend a wicked dance. Time passes and Diana seems distracted from grading her papers. Of course, she's really needy for Eric. Next level fatherless behavior, I tell ya. Speak of the devil, here's her knight in shining armor now. He calls up to set up another tryst, and it sounds like they're going somewhere different since Sophia's home.
We can go to my brother's.
So Eric suggested his older brother's home. The place doesn't look too shabby, and a little while after, the couple gets comfy. Mind you, this is totally creepy because Eric immediately asks for Diana to start undressing. Let's just skip to another normal school day. But that's immediately derailed by this trip Eric and Diana are going to. Looks like they're going to the ranch. No, not Dr. Phil's ranch where Diana gets therapy. Eric's talking about a remote ranch he drives to where he could score again with Diana. The conversation suddenly turns back to Eric's tool. Yeah, tool. Let's go with that. Just like any hormonal boy, he brags about it. Then of course, Roadhead. It's like the dialogue for this movie is made for an adult film.
You're crazy.
That kind. Soon after they reach the ranch, the two lovebirds look at the fading sunset together. This would have been totally okay if Eric was legal. What comes next is, of course, the aftermath of Bone Town. It seems like a peaceful morning, so Diana gets up and does something normal for once, take a walk. She's probably appreciating nature because she knows she's gonna get caught in the end and end up in jail. So savor the smells of the flowers, lady. The walk ends, then she comes back to Eric. Then Diana talks about making some eggs for breakfast. I don't know, does this count as breakfast in bed? Whatever it is, bad news. Someone pulls up to the ranch.
Hello?
The old dude knocks and hollers, then Diana hears it. Time to panic because James, the rancher's foreman, was just doing his patrol. Then he noticed Eric's car parked here. Seems like he knows Eric, so he's just here to make sure. James doesn't suss out a thing, so everything's in the clear. Eric tells Diana to come out, then she asks about James. Don't worry, he's something like a landlord, so it's cool. What about the permission from Eric's father? Is James gonna snitch about that? Eric says it's cool because James is all mellow yellow, baby. Diana's too paranoid and worked up about this because this could cost her more than her job. I mean, you should have thought of that right from the beginning, lady. Eric couldn't care less because he's young. He wouldn't understand. Thanks to this incident, Diana says it's time for them to take a little break.
What's the matter with you?
No, not break up, just a little pause. Looks like Sophia has been petrified by this whole ordeal. But again, Eric is fueled by hormones. He wants a taste, which Diana isn't in the mood for right now. This reality is deafening because there's no real relationship here. Just a woman with daddy issues and an underaged kid. Their weekend ends roughly, and yeesh, this is gonna be the most thought-provoking jog Diana will ever have. Suddenly, Diana finds herself driving to the school she works in, and she seems stressed. Actually, it feels like she's been trapped inside her head all this time. The poor girl can't focus on anything. I mean, that's really how it is when you commit a crime. The night comes, and it looks like Sophia scores with this guy, Matt. He's gonna be a lucky guy today. Diana has recently been on the edge, and it shows. Not to mention, all that noise Sophia's moaning out is reminding her of Eric. The day of the dance is here, and Diana couldn't be happier.
This is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Scratch that. She silently freaks out upon seeing Eric dance with another girl his age. Diana, sweetie, staring is rude, come on. The girl Eric was with zooms out. Then Diana suddenly puts on lipstick. Oh no. Then she heads for a liquor store. Double oh no. Trust me, alcohol and anything school related usually doesn't go too well. Diana drinks her sorrows out at home. Then it looks like she stalks Eric on Facebook. Geez, Diana, what happened to I want to take a break? Well, there she goes again on another jog. It's better than smoking at least. Then it's time for work, but she immediately tells Eric to come and see her after class. This woman is displaying all kinds of red flags right now.
Can you come by and see me sometime today after class?
The after class meeting comes and she finally gets to talk with Eric. Of course, he doesn't know what's up, but it looks like Diana's giving more and more into her lust. She even invites Eric over for later again, but a teacher busts in unannounced. She'll come back later, but I hope she catches on. Even Eric is a bit weirded out about Diana's recent behavior. Diana says she's fine, but do you really trust her tense eyes? The night arrives and Diana is on full thrust. Eric cooked her some steaks, but it looks like she's craving a different kind of meat tonight. Gosh, these shots are really dark. I can't see a thing, so this is great news. While we all know they're doing something really dirty there, at least this saves this video from getting axed. Nope, wait, it's back. Censor it. Something then throws Eric off, but what did I tell you? These hormones, man, they're really good at fueling people. Their little tryst ends and Diana suddenly feels awful. That's right, that's the daddy issue finally revealing itself. Diana finally becomes aware that what she's doing is totally wrong, but she suddenly craves for him again. Which is it, lady? Pick one. Well, fate picks one because here comes Sophia. Adding to this, Eric wants to go now because he's really weirded out by Diana's behavior now.
Don't go, don't go, don't go. Please, please.
The stars are finally aligning. Diana begs him to stay, but Eric rushes out. Sophia witnesses this, then Diana runs after him, but too late. This is Diana's Joker moment because she's giving in to the insanity. She takes some of her stuff, then drives out in her Volvo. Dark scenes plus a car chase? This won't be good. Diana parks outside Eric's house, and there she begs him in text. This lady's really down bad. This doesn't stop her because now she's straight up calling their house. Someone older picks up, and he's gonna get Eric. Of course, Eric doesn't want to talk, so Diana is really freaking out. Sheesh, lady, please get help. Nah.
Hi, is Eric there?
Instead, let's walk to this house and stalk him. I see Diana as having a schizo thread as she silently calls Eric out from the window. Eric finally agrees to talk to her outside, but man, Diana's really being clingy. Then John Tull enters the stage. This scares Diana away and she drives off. Like, she drives off really far. She finally lands at this motel. There, she checks her voicemail and it looks like the school is looking for her. What's worse is that it's specifically about Eric and his father is with him. Someone's gonna get busted. With that, Diana crawls in despair. Pop quiz is over because that was A Teacher, starring Lindsay Burge, Will Britton, and Jennifer Prediger. How many years do you think Diana should get sentenced to? Let us know in the comments below using #CinemaRecap, and we'll see you with the next crime-committing cougar.